Where'd you get the name? Soft boy. I mean, I guess, you know.
There's like 3 different answers for that.
Okay.
One of them is it was Blue Oyster Cult's original name. But that's not really why.
Okay.
Back when I was a kid, I remember hearing my dad's like business associates talk about the soft underbelly of whatever, you know, talking about the vulnerable part of whatever the subject was at the time.
Good.
And I think Winston Churchill referred to Italy as the soft underbelly of Europe.
Okay.
Back when World War II was going on.
Yeah. All right, that's very good. I like that.
So that's where the name came from.
That's good stuff.
Jeremy, where are you from originally?
All right. I'm originally from Toronto, Canada. And I was born there and, you know, grew up there until I was just 7. And then my parents, my dad especially, wanted to leave Canada because he was just over the winters and all that. So my mom's dad was out here and he actually ran a little shop, like a kind of like a cowboy shop, I guess, for like boots and saddles and all that, and up in Glendale. So they would come out here and visit, so they were familiar with it, but no family out here. And so once he passed, we moved out here when I was 7, and he passed away shortly after that. But so it was just us, you know, no other family, no aunts, no uncles, no nothing. Everybody else is in Canada.
How would you describe your childhood?
It was good. Yeah, my childhood was good. I mean, it was a little weird, so I'll give you a little insight. So my mom's mom had a sister, 3 brothers, and 2 of the brothers and 1 of the sister were gay. So they didn't have kids, right? And so and they all lived in one house. So like her upbringing was a little weird too, right? She was always taking care of her mom. Her mom was sick a lot, and so my mom took care of her a lot. But it was also weird, you know, growing up with that whole crew, you know, in one house. And my aunt is actually, you know, did you ever hear, what's that movie where, with Madonna, the baseball movie? I forget what it's called.
I forget the name.
Damn, okay. Anyway, she was like one of those players on the baseball team.
Yeah,
right?
It's a great movie.
Yeah, so that was cool. And then, but so with my mom and dad both working, I was with my uncles a lot and my aunt at that house. It's a big ass house. It was the biggest house on the block. Like if you look down the block, all these 1-story houses in Canada, this big fucking house right in the middle of the block. It's still there. It's the funniest shit ever. I looked it up on Google Maps. It's pretty funny. But anyway, so anyway, you know, we're out here and most of her family passed away. And so we're pretty much on our own. It's just the 5 of us. My mom, my dad, me, I'm the oldest, and my sister and brother. So, you know, growing up was cool. Like I said, I grew up out here, and then once I got into high school, junior high, you know, started partying, got into dope and stuff, and then I can't remember exactly when, but I remember a visit to the dentist to get my wisdom teeth taken out. And that's when I got into pills. And I think that was like 15, 16. And then I was just off and running. So then through high school, I was popping pills. And it was kind of funny because back in the 90s, like you'd be at a party and I'd have a handful of pills and people were like, what's going on, dude? Do you have a headache or something? And I'm like, no, they're Vicodin. They're like, what? You know? So nobody really was into that, you know? So it was kind of like I was into it way before anybody else anyway. So once I got a job cleaning windows, and cleaning windows is not a necessity, it's a luxury. So I worked most of the time in high-end homes, rich people's homes, and for some reason in the 90s, doctors were just, I don't know what it was, but I would go into medicine cabinets in big homes, and 90% of the time they'd have a huge bottle of Vicodin, Oxycontin, you know, whatever, Percocets. And so that's how I got my dope. So it was kind of funny because...
Raiding their medicine cabinet?
Yeah. Like, I wasn't going in there and like taking a Rolex or, you know, doing any of the normal junky shit. I was just going into their medicine cabinet. You know, I'd pass all the, you know, the Gucci shoes and all this other shit I could have gotten rid of and just went for the medicine cabinet. So it was kind of funny because another thing is I had to go to work to get dope. So that's what kept me employed. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I had to just, and then the weekends kind of sucked because I wasn't working. So I have to like, you know, I'd have to clock everything so it made it to Sunday. And, you know, sometimes you get sick and that was just, I think the first time I got sick, I didn't really get it. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with me? I'm like, do I have a flu or something? You know, most junkies don't really get it the first time. And then, you know, one of your friends will be like, oh yeah, you're dope sick. And you're like, oh shit, is that what this is? Fuck this. And that's when you try really hard not to get dope sick. So yeah, that's what I did most of my time is go to work. So I was a super employee. So I was at work every motherfucking day to get dope.
And you've lived
and it was funny because...
You've lived on the streets?
No. What, right now?
No, I mean, in your time.
No, back then? No, I was employed. And I didn't pay for dope. So I was fucking balling. I had pills, I had money, I had a job, I had a car, a girlfriend, all sorts of shit. And, I was also plugged into the rave scene from the early 90s up until like 99. And that was a huge part of my life. Ecstasy, all the exotic drugs. Special K, we used to drive down to Mexico and get Special K and bring it back. And yeah, I've had some crazy ass stories in Mexico. So one time we went down there, we used to go get Oxycontins in Tijuana, which is weird because Oxycontins are manufactured in the US. So that means somebody in the 90s was taking Oxycontins across the border to Mexico to sell them at a pharmacy back to college kids, at San Diego.
Because you can buy drugs, pharmaceutical drugs.
Yeah, but they don't have Vicodin or anything. The only thing they have there, like out of pharmacy that they manufacture is codeine. That's it. Can't get Vicodin, Percocet, any of that shit.
You can buy that stuff without a prescription.
Correct. And yeah, you can get gear like steroids, any of that kind of stuff. But but we thought it was so weird. There's Oxycontin 30s here. Like what's going on? And this was way before fentanyl, so they weren't pressing them. This was the real shit, like coming in a package, like from the US. So we couldn't figure out what the fuck's going on. It's so weird. Anyway, it was a good plug. So we'd go down there a lot. And it's before cell phones, so we wouldn't call down there. We'd just wing it. We just jump on the fucking freeway at like Tuesday, 8 o'clock at night. Let's go get some oxys, boom. And me and my boy went one night, and we'd always park and walk across. So one night we parked, we walked across. We're on Revolution Street, and we go. But some guy's like, "Oh yeah, I can get you Vicodin," because our pharmacy didn't have any Oxycontin. So of course, we're walking with some dude. I'm like, okay, we're off Revolution Street now. I don't know where we're at, dude. It's gonna get weird. And it got fucking weird. So now we're in some strip club, all this, and my boy goes outside to smoke cigarettes or something. And the next thing I know, the federales, I see him through the window, and they're taking him away. And I'm like, hey dude, what the fuck's going on out here? And so I go outside, nobody's out there. It's like a ghost. I don't know where they went. I didn't see him leaving a car. It was like fucking gone. And so now I'm like, hey, what happened? He goes, oh, they must have taken him to jail. I go, the fuck are you talking about? He's my ride. Oh, well, you're gonna have to go get him out. All right, fuck it. So I take a taxi to every jail and ask, hey, is so-and-so here? Is he? No, he's not here. The last jail I checked was like 12 miles into Tijuana, and I ran out of money. So now I'm on foot walking back to the border, and it's like 2 or 3 in the morning. And like, I'm just looking around going like, what the fuck? Like a van's gonna pull up and I'm just gonna get disappeared into some weird, fucking 55-gallon drum somewhere. And then it's funny because I'm keeping an eye out, And out of the corner of my eye, I can see at the gas station, there's this dude, and he's like watching me, And so I'm watching him, and I'm walking, keep walking. And I'm like, this fucking guy's like really like interested or something, you know what I'm saying? He's just like fucking weird. So I go, oh, great. Okay, so now he pulls out, and then he's pulling up to me, and I go, oh, what the fuck? And he pulls up, puts his window down, and then he goes, hey, what are you doing? And I go, walking. And then I see his kid in the back seat, and I go, okay, it's not gonna get too fucking weird, I hope, right? He's got like a little small child in the back, his son or something. He goes, hey, I'm a cop. I'm like a detective down here, and I need you to get in the car because there's fucking people watching you right now. And I go, what? And I was in the fucking car in like 2 seconds. I go, what are you talking about? He goes, yeah, you're gonna get fucking kidnapped, and you're gonna get like, it's gonna be a weird situation where they're gonna call, your family. That kind of shit happened, And so I'm like, okay, great. So I tell him my story of my friend, and he goes, all right, well, let's go check. Before cell phones, we still had to drive around and all, but at least he could communicate. I'm up there going, hey, my friend, and they're just like, dude, get the fuck out of here. And so he checks everything, and nothing. And I go, what the fuck? What happened? And he goes, look, it's getting, it's early in the morning now. I'm going to just take you to the border and we'll see what, you got to see what happens. Like, fuck, whatever. I'm like 18 at the time, So he drops me off. I go across. I walk across the border. I have no dope. I'm not well. I'm a kind of a mess. And there's like a Denny's down there or some shit like that. And I'm walking, and it's kind of foggy, And I can see this figure walking towards me. And I go, is that my fucking friend? And we just keep walking. And I'm like, what the fuck? The whole time, I guess the federales just took him to the border and dropped him off. So I've been fucking looking for him for 3 or 4 hours, and he's been eating, bacon and eggs, fucking Denny's. So, not cool, man. So anyway, Mexico story.
So today you're using what?
Fetty and a little bit of crack sprinkled in.
How did you
convert
over to fentanyl?
Oh, so okay. Here's the other story. So. I like I said, 99, 2000, I'm kind of going nowhere. I'm in my early 20s, and my parents are like, listen, you got to figure something out because you're just a fucking mess, come on. And so I'm like, okay, and they go, you should go into the military. And I go, okay. None of our family, like, since my, great uncles or whatever in Canada were in the military, so my brother went in the Marines like a year before me, so that was my only, thing I knew about it. So anyway, I take the ASVAB and I scored really good, and I was gonna go in the Marines, all that good stuff, and for some reason, the guy, the person's supposed to come pick you up and take you to the depot in LA, and you ship out. Well, he never came, and I'm like, what the fuck? That was weird, right? And so I didn't hear anything of it. So they go, you know what? My parents are like, just listen, you scored really good on the ASVAB, try the Air Force. So I went to the Air Force recruiter, kind of in the same, building in Glendale. So I talked to them. Boom, like April 2001, I'm going to boot camp. And now granted, I've been doing speed for the last like 3 years, and I'm a junkie and a mess. So now I'm going to boot camp. Nobody thought I was going to make it like 24 hours. They thought I just fucking, hop a train home or something. So I get to Texas. I get through boot camp. Everybody's totally shocked. I go to tech school, June 2001, and get through that. I come home, and then I get my orders to Mountain Home, Idaho, and I drive to the base. I get there in August, and 2 weeks later, 9/11 happens. And then a week after that, I was in the desert. Yeah, building a base. It's actually still there today. It's called Al Udeid. It's the CENTCOM base for anybody going in and out of the Middle East. They kind of go through there.
So you went to where?
Qatar.
Qatar.
Yeah. I went to Qatar, and we built that base. And it became the CENTCOM base just because PSAB, which was in Saudi Arabia, got bombed in '98, so they shut that base down. So anyway, so yeah, I went from being a crazy tweaker, selling my, air conditioning box in the window for fucking dope, to chasing crazy people through the Tora Bora mountains, and you know what I'm saying? It's just fucking weird. Like, I'd be standing in the middle of just going, what the fuck is going on? This is crazy. Because I didn't even think I'd make it. I didn't even think I'd make it through boot camp, tech school, any of that shit. Anyways, okay, I'm in Mountain Home. I come home from the desert, did 6 months in the desert, did great, got achievement medals, all this good shit. I'm doing good. I'm sober for the first time in like 10 years. Everything's good. So, 2002, 2003, 2004, I get married. And, that goes good. And 2005, I get out. And we moved to Vegas. And we thought, oh, this is going to be good. And it was okay. But, once again, we had no family, right? So, me and the wife have a baby. And then I become a real estate agent. And I start doing pills again, right? So then now, check this out. So now I'm using my my box to get into lock boxes for sale homes, and now I'm going through their fucking medicine cabinets. So I'm spending my whole day looking on the MLS for homes that are for sale. And I can get in the lockbox and go into their medicine cabinet. And sometimes I'd go into somebody's home because I'd knock and then I'd walk in and somebody'd be in the fucking shower. They'd be like, "Oh, what the fuck?" And I'm like, "Oh, sorry, I knocked. I want to show your house." And it was just fucking crazy. I can't believe, I can't believe they didn't say anything. I'd be going into 15 homes a day, just looking for pills. So anyway, yeah, that happened, and then I guess we'll go up to what? Now it's 2008. We don't do Vegas. We come back here. We've got a daughter now, and I get clean. Once I have my daughter, I get on Suboxone. Okay. Good job, because I said I'm not going to do dope and have kids. Just fuck that. So I got in Suboxone. I'm doing really good. Got a job at UPS, supervisor, all this good shit. I'm at the airport, and that I'm doing good. And then we have a son. 2010, 2011, my wife comes to me and goes, "Hey, you know what? I don't feel like being a mom right now, and I don't feel like being a wife. And I think I want you to take the kids and go to your mom's." And I go, "Huh?" We never fought. We were good. You know what I'm saying? Everything was cool, but I guess she met somebody and, whatever the fuck. So I take the kids and I go to my mom's. And, I raised my kids for 10 years. I didn't do any dope. And then my parents retired 2 years ago. Sold the house we all lived in, moved to Palm Desert. The kids had to go to their moms because I couldn't do it on my own and go to work and send them to school and all this shit. So that's when I kind of went off the fucking rails again. And it just went bad. This was the other funny situation. So I move out, right? Get an apartment. And I look at all these apartments, and of course, with my luck, the one apartment I move into, I move in next to a crackhead. So I start talking to him, and, I thought it'd be a really good idea to start smoking crack. So then everything kind of dwindled quickly, and in the meantime, I did meet somebody, became a really good friend down here. And so when I, lost all my shit in 6 months smoking crack, I ended up down here on Crocker. And it was kind of a crazy experience because, you're more or less camping, but you're fucking permanently camping.
Yeah, Skid Row's
And I came out here, this is what I always said too, it's the year I move outside, we end the fucking drought. Now it's raining every day. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Camping on Skid Row.
Come on, man.
Camping on Skid Row is not camping.
Oh, it's fucking ridiculous. And okay, hold on. I also, somewhere in the few years, I had gotten on methadone. So I was on 100 milligrams of methadone. So I would fall asleep in the chair in the tent. So I would fall asleep and I'd fall into like the camping stove. And so, yeah, one night, I have a really cool scar. I fell asleep and I slid into the camping stove and I had a leather jacket on and a sweater, and it went through all that shit in my arm. And I woke up because, you know, you're not really like, it doesn't hurt at first, you know, you don't feel it. It's just, I don't know, it's weird. So I get up and I'm like, oh, fuck. And the two people I had, you know, chilling in the tent with me, they were smoking crack, I was asleep. They go, oh, what the fuck, we're out of here. This is just like, dude, I'm not even dealing with this shit. And so I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, I'm looking at the jacket. The jacket was fucking just demolished. The whole thing just melted. The leather was just gone. And I'm like, what the fuck, right? And I did that a few times. Like, I just fall into the camping. Because you know, you kind of fall asleep around, just how it went. And so, yeah, I got a lot of shit for that. Anyway, so, and I got really good at sleeping in a chair. So yeah, I'm still down here, you know, I'm
Where are you staying now?
Oh, and then hold on, because I couldn't keep going to my methadone clinic. So I tried to do heroin and it wouldn't touch it. You know, I was on 100 milligrams of methadone, it didn't do shit. And so then I tried Fetty, and it helped. So I try not to smoke too much of it, you know, because it's just, fuck, I already have one drug going, I get two fucking drugs going, now I'm smoking cigarettes again. It's just a shit show. It's a complete mess. But it's my mess.
Where do you stay now?
You know what? I actually, through the friend that brought me down here and, you know, helped me in my tent situation, she also coincidentally got me into the Grand, which was really cool. So now I stay.
Tell the viewers about the LA Grand, which,
okay, so
which
the
is
LA,
it was a very nice hotel.
It is,
in
yes.
downtown LA,
right?
Just outside of Skid Row.
Outside, yes, it's outside of Skid Row.
And you,
how it
they
works
took this
is,
beautiful, how many, 13, 20 floor hotel?
Yeah, it's 12 floors, and it's got like 400. There's 400 people living there, and
now
they're all prior homeless people. And so what's happening in there was, we go in there and they house us, they feed us, and you know, we work with a coordinator to find housing. So that's basically what's going on.
But are you allowed to use drugs while you're there?
I mean, are you ever allowed to use, you know, sure, we're all fucking junkies. Yes, we all do.
So it's a beautiful hotel full of drug addicts.
Full of drug addicts, right. And I mean, look, there is people that are, you know, that are doing the thing and all that. But, you know, it's tough, you know. It's really tough. So yeah, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at.
How do you support yourself now?
But selling stuff. Yeah.
Are you boosting, stealing?
You know, not really. You know what? I'm actually pretty good at panhandling. Yeah, a guy gave me $140 the other night. Yeah, because I fly like a veteran sign. It's kind of one of those like, hey, help me out. So, but yeah, panhandling. Yeah, I mean, have I boosted? Yeah, of course I boosted. You know, I was on a boosting crew and all that good stuff, but I don't want to get too into that, you know. But yeah, I will tell you that there is a whole economy of boosters and vendors and fencers, and it's pretty amazing, really.
Both here on Skid Row and MacArthur Park.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, yes. And like I said, I mean, I just don't want to go too far down that road because, yeah. But yeah, it's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing when you see, like, you know, the other thing I thought was pretty amazing too is you can go to any suburb in the U.S. and any neighborhood, and, you know, yeah, people know their neighbors, but they're not like talking to them every day. But when you live in a tent with a bunch of other fuckers that live in a tent and you're all totally insane, you talk to each other every day, all the time, all day, all day.
It's a very social.
It's a very social, like, experiment. Mm-hmm. And I analyze, and, you know, I guess the other thing I should mention is I was basically the only white guy on a predominantly black.
Yeah, Crocker's a very black.
It sure
block.
is. Yes. So it's
If
the
you
only
can survive as a
cracker on
white guy,
Crocker.
yeah. If you can survive there, you can survive anywhere. Right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. It was a good time though. I really had a good time. A lot of I miss it.
And Jeremy, what would you say is the most important lesson you've learned in your life?
Most important lesson. That you can always kind of, turn it around. It's never too late.
Yeah, I can see you turning it around and
Oh yeah.
putting this behind you.
But I can really fuck it up too.
You did it before.
I can fuck shit up really good. Yeah. And I don't need any help. I can really fuck it up on my own pretty good.
All right, Jeremy. Thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you, brother.
Good luck.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.